Hello students of grade 11 and welcome to another English A past paper review. Today we will be zooming in on another aspect of our paper 1, especially in section 1 where we'll find those 25 discrete items. We have already looked at synonyms and antonyms, and today we want to take a look at sentence completion. Sentence completion can sometimes seem a bit tricky, since some of the words to be inserted seem identical. But as we comb through these past papers today, it should be able to become clearer to you. So let's get into it. So, what is sentence completion? Sentence completion refers to that part of the English A exam where a sentence contains one or two blanks to be filled in using the choices. These questions test your vocabulary and knowledge of the finer distinctions among words. A good vocabulary, as we have been stressing, can be a great help here. But you can use many strategies for these questions even without knowing all the choices. You must ensure that you read the questions carefully. Also, you can use the elimination method by ruling out the wrong choices using justifications. Additionally, be sure to draw from the meaning of the other words in the sentence so that you can choose the correct answers. So let's delve. May-June 2016. Sentence completion questions were found at items 1 to 5. The instruction was, each sentence has either one or two words missing. Choose from the four options the word or pair of words which best completes the meaning of the sentence. Mark your choice in the answer sheet. Number 1. Despite his short temper, his willingness to give of his wealth to help others to succeed led people to call him something. A. Hasty, B. Foolish, C. Benevolent, and D. Old-fashioned. Based on what is said in the sentence, we know that it is something positive, and our best option would be benevolent. Number 2, when parents display a something for one child, the others are likely to feel something. A. Fondness or lonely. B. Dislike, indifferent. C. Preference, jealous. D. Concern, angry. if we fit those words into the sentence, our best option would be to choose C. When parents display a preference for one child, the others are likely to feel jealous. Number 3. An attack on someone when that person is most vulnerable may be something, but is always something. A. Inappropriate, thoughtful. B. Rewarding, satisfying. C. Destructive, distressing. Or D. Effective, unkind. Yes, when persons are most vulnerable, our attack might be effective, but this is always unkind. So our best option to choose, so D is the best option we can use to complete that sentence. Let's move on. While the committee member something insults across the floor, the chairman tried in vain to something order. Sounds chaotic, but let's see the options. A. Hurled, restore. B. Spoke, impose. C. Give, maintain. D. Exchange, conserve. The best option to complete that sentence would be A. While the committee members hurled insults across the floor, the chairman tried in vain to restore order. Number 5. To conceal his true activities, the spy quickly something a plausible excuse for his presence there. We have A. Fabricated, B. Divulged, C. Explained, and D. Disguised. Yes, based on the meaning of the word fabricate, which means to make up, that would be our best option to complete this sentence. So, to conceal his true activities, the spy quickly fabricated a plausible excuse for his presence there. So let's go on to May-June 2015. Questions on sentence completion was found at items 6 to 10. The instruction read, each sentence has either one or two words missing. Choose from the four options the word or pair of words which best completes the meaning of the sentence. Are you trying to something that all along he knew of the plan to oust the committee? A. Clarity. B. Accuse. C. Persist. Or D. Insinuate. The best word to go in that space would be insinuate. Are you trying to insinuate that all along he knew of the plan to oust the committee? So let's look at some sentence completion questions that were posed in May-June 2014. Items 1 to 5. The instruction reads, each sentence has either one or two words missing. Choose from the options the word or pair of words which best completes the meaning of the sentence. Mark your choice on the answer sheet. Number 1. Her criticism was constructive and honest, with no something whatsoever. Our options are malice, candor, coherence, and directness. Given this sentence, the best option would be A. Malice, since malice refers to causing injury or pain. But here, when we insert malice, it would be the absence of injury or pain. So her criticism was constructive and honest with no malice whatsoever. Number 2, because she had worked all day, to help her with something the task of preparing supper. A. Deprived of. B. Relieved of. C. Barred from. D. Hindered from. The best option to complete that sentence would be B. Relieved of. Because she had worked all day, the helper was relieved of the task of preparing supper. Let's go on. Parents should try to something their children so that they may eventually become something. A. Discipline, timid. B. Train, intelligible. C. Pamper, acceptable. Or D. Educate, self-sufficient. The best answer for this sentence would be D. Parents should try to educate their children so that they may eventually become self-sufficient. 4. Justice must be seen to be done, for something treatment can cause great something. A. Unfair, resentment. B. Pronounced, anger. C. Unlawful, surprise. And D. Rewarded, bitterness. Given the sentence, A would be our best option to complete the sentence. So, we'll have justice must be seen to be done, for unfair treatment can cause great resentment. And number 5, in 2014, there are many who would try to something your efforts because of their jealousy. A. Assist. B. Affect. C. Thwart. Or D. Encourage. We know that assist and encourage do not really make much sense if inserted in that sentence. So we're left with affect and thwart. But given the meaning of the word thwart, which means to hinder, that would be our best option. So the sentence would read, there are many who would try to thwart your efforts because of their jealousy. Let's take a look at May-June 2013. Number 6. Something people are likely to be afraid to take risks in life. A. Wealthy. B. Selfish. C. Cautious. Or D. Knowledgeable. Our best option would be cautious. Cautious people are likely to be afraid to take risk in life. So let's move on to another past paper, May-June 2012. Number 1. The journalists were impressed by the something of the statesman, whose speeches had a profound something on all who heard them. A. Appearance, reaction. B. Presence, result. C. Emotion, sensation. Or D. Eloquence, effect. The answer for number 1 would be D, eloquence effect. What D implies is that the way in which the statesman expressed himself would be one that is smooth. So the sentence would read, the journalists were impressed by the eloquence of the statesman whose speeches had a profound effect on all who heard them. May-June 2011. Most parents do not something in discipline from their children. Our options are A, frown on, B, supervise, C, promote, or D, tolerate. Definitely, D is the best option to complete the sentence. Parents do not tolerate indiscipline from their children. The lawyer gave his client some good something about taxes. A, advice, B, methods, C, solutions, and D, guarantees. Given the sentence, A would be the best option to complete that sentence. The lawyer gave his client some good advice about taxes. That was the end of another great session, and I hope you're getting the hang of these English A exam questions. Thus far, we have examined various topics in Section 1 of Paper 1, and there are a few more to go. So, I encourage you to stay focused and work hard so that you can become the best that you can be. Remember, in becoming good at anything, it cannot become a reality without effort. So take that first step now. So, students of grade 11, do take care until our next past paper review session. Goodbye for now.